And I'm just going to jump straight to the cards. You have the Tower, the Nine of Cups, Seven of Wands for the main general story. And for the outcome, okay, we have the Five of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Very emotionally intense week, I think, is up for you. Now, I want to caution you because Tower. All right, we all know Tower can be a scary energy. It's big, it's dramatic, it comes out of left field. So something to keep in mind and potentially prepare for. It will be shocking. You know, it might shake up some foundations. It is a week, so it might not be as major as you might normally think, but it's big energy. And this could just represent a highly active week as well, too, where it's just like there's no moments rest. Now, I always look to, the card on the right for positive or more of a lean towards negative. And we do have the Nine of Cups, which is a card of wish fulfillment and emotional contentment. So I do think this Tower leans towards a positive surprise. But, and don't hate me, so something about this card just bothered the crap out of me. And see if I could focus. This kid's face, or this is an adult, it doesn't look like an adult, maybe it's supposed to be, but there's something about their face that doesn't feel like they're overjoyed. Doesn't feel like they're enthusiastic or there's emotional contentment there. It's almost like it's a concerned look. So, I hate to say this was the Nine of Cups because it's normally a fantastic card. But, again, I'm being evil here. Sorry. I can't help but feel, so I don't know why I picked up that card. I can't help but feel that there is something to be careful of. You may get, something that you've wished for, but I feel like saying that cheesy line, be careful what you wish for, or there might be something that's still nagging you in the background that's concerning you in regards to something that you do want, and that is a wish and an emotional fulfillment. So while that might be coming, so just be wary of that Nine of Cups there. I don't know, I just don't trust it. So next to it, we have the Seven of Wands. Maybe this is also part of the reason. Now, Seven of Wands is not a negative card on its own. It's not really negative in general. I mean, this guy in his own way is victorious. He has people, or I should say wands, that he's essentially up against, fighting against. He's taken up the majority of the real estate of the card imagery. He's well equipped himself. He doesn't look exhausted or tired, and he doesn't seem to have any problem defending whatever it is he feels like protecting, or whatever it is people are attacking. And that might be the case this week. You might feel under attack, or you might feel that you have to defend yourself or take on a hold your ground stance. And it might in part be due to this shocking event that occurs, that it has to do with something that you really wanted on an emotional level. And perhaps other people disagree with the way the situation turned out. And again, it's you against them for the week. And then with the outcome here, we've got highly emotional energy. I mean, you are a water sign, so the Queen of Cups can definitely represent you off the bat. But the Queen of Cups in general for me, and especially next to the Five of Cups, talks about high emotions, the inability to control the emotions, and just there is a sadness here, a disappointment over the way a situation has turned out. Which is why I'm cautioning you about something that might appear to be a temporary satisfaction. And it's not long before you kind of had to either fight for it or fight other people, or people are giving you grief, and you almost end up regretting whatever happened here. Feels like a little bit of a weird story. All right, so what is the Tower about exactly? What's crashing down? Emperor. Could point to a okay. You know, I took this. Fuck yes, okay, I'll take it. I grabbed this card accidentally. This is the Six of Wands. And so what's interesting is that the Tower does feel like it is a positive shakeup, is a positive surprise. It has to do with a relationship or partnership that you have to this Emperor here. So either this is a romantic connection that suddenly developed, this is you being successful in attracting this person or obtaining this person, and it feels like that might be a wish of yours. Maybe you were highly attracted to this powerful figure, the Emperor here. And if you've had a date or something like that, the relationship ends up being quite successful, and you and this person are now recognized as a couple in public. It's no longer a private connection if it was before. Others of you, aside from the romance, this can be any form of partnership. So you are partnering up with the Emperor in a business transaction, or you're working with them, and it's obvious that you and this person have a strong partnership, and together you're successful. But again, what's interesting is that this success somehow leads to other people, like some sort of backlash, and you have to defend yourself. And then it's as if you're sad, and maybe the sadness can do with some people, friends or otherwise. It's like they don't like seeing people succeed without themselves succeeding, and they become jealous and petty, and that's the type of vibe I'm getting. And I feel like your sadness is tied into the fact that maybe, you know, friendships or connections are lost because those people are being petty and not being happy for your success. So that's the vibe I'm getting. I don't like it. I don't like people like that. So anyway, Nine of Cups. Let's do it. So you have the Eight of Pentacles as the clarifier for the Nine of Cups. And I think this is like you've worked hard for something. You've worked diligently, long hours. You know, you've put all your effort into mastering a particular topic, situation, project, whatever. And you're reaping the rewards. I really think other people are having an issue with you being successful. Fuck them is what I say. It's possible that this success you've experienced, maybe it takes you in a different direction and you have to leave a situation behind as well. We have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups, as you know, leaves a connection. This connection has been something that you have an attachment to. There's 8 cups you're leaving behind. It's quite a lot of emotions. So I feel like although there's success and joy at these positive results here, you have to leave a situation in order to pursue something else further. And that could also be what's making you quite upset. Maybe the Queen of Cups is someone else in your life and that person's leaving, or that's someone you have to leave. Oh, I was going to say, I thought this was another queen. We have the Four of Pentacles. I feel like that's more your energy than someone else. And I feel like this is you attempting to withhold, you know, any sort of emotion. The Four of Pentacles, yes, it's Pentacles focused, but it usually holds on. There's a possessive energy to the Four. And in this case, with all these emotional cards around it, I feel like you're trying to hang on to your emotions and not basically spill your feelings over a disappointing situation. Seven of Wands. Okay, yeah, I'm sticking to that, where I feel like some sort of success because you're connected to this Emperor. This person is helping you or has brought you further success, and it's most likely either a romantic connection or a business connection. It's quite sudden there with the Tower. You've worked hard for it. You've got people giving you drama, and I feel like with death, these people that are up against you, you have to cut them off. One of them, or several of them, might be people that you've had long-term relationships, connections with, and knowing that you have to cut them off because of how they're being, that just upsets you. I think you know it's for the best, but it's not necessarily easy as well. This was a dropper and I felt like pulling it to the side. I think as a, not highlight, but a theme this week in general, something big that could be going on is there's again, noise in the background, some shady shit happening that you might not be aware of quite yet. Someone stealing, someone lying, someone manipulating. This is, I think, occurring, and it's just like a secret that's lingering in the background for the week. Now, as the main cards, we have a story here of the Sun and the Page of Cups. This is fantastic news coming in. You are overjoyed at hearing this. This could be tied to emotions, romance, or just good news in general that you are happy to hear. And we got the 10 of Pentacles with the 2 of Pentacles. This could involve, this happy news coming in could involve work or an increase in money. This is an established couple here or established situation. So whatever the case may be, you're feeling more secure, grounded, and you got your shit together. I feel like with the 2 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, I'm seeing the 2 as you no longer have to juggle your finances. Everything is balanced. I feel like everything feels set, and on some level you might feel like you are just committed for life, set for life. Those type of phrases are coming to mind here. I don't know why I'm putting that behind the card. Now, we also have the 10 of Wands and a lot of 10s too. So this is a week of completion. Something is ending. And as the overall outcome, we do have death. So this is a definite end to a situation. With death comes some new situation, whether good or bad. In this case, I do think it's for the positive. You have the Empress after. But a situation is clearly has met its end. It's just inevitable. And even more so with all these 10s, there's a sense of completion here. And in this case, we've got 2 of the 10s that I don't want to see. We have the 10 of Wands, burdens and exhaustion and just a lot of responsibility that has worn you out completely. You are done with it. I think some of you by the end of the week are feeling done with all the baggage that you're carrying. You're like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm letting it go. I'm exhausted. Enough is enough. You're not dealing with anybody else's problems. You're not even dealing with your own problem. You just can't carry anymore. And I think other people might have expectations from you to do so. I could ask more about this because we do have good news, but somehow again it leads to more responsibility, and very quickly that happiness just, you feel worn out by the impact that this news has on you. I mean, this could be related to work in that you gain a title, you gain a position that you've wanted. It makes you happy because you are in a more powerful role, as a for instance. And, that ends up with more money, more responsibility, and you are, after all, trying to deal with all this. And it's not long before you're just like ready to let it all go. It's not worth it. It's just too damn much to handle. And you feel like quitting or giving up. Now the outcome cards, though, death, as I said, clear ending happening this week. And this could be some sort of lies and secrets in the background that come to light as well. But what comes after is the Empress. And I think this is growth after the fact, that you're able to, get yourself back together. Get to your core and maybe focus on yourself. I am seeing you as the Empress. Now the Empress is a female. If you are a male, let me see something that could be someone just in your life, again, that plays a strong influence. I just want to see the Empress. Let me just see. I need more info before I say any more. One more. Oh my God. Okay. I'm like trying to get out of the court cards. All right. Just because I'm determined, even though, court cards are perfectly fine as outcomes, I want more. So, okay. Get one on death. Ooh, court card city. So either a lot of people are involved this week, or these are aspects of personalities of 1 or 2 people that are creeping up. Empress clarifiers. We have a couple. We have a pairing. We have the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands. And we have some situation going back to the past. Maybe this is you revisiting the past. You've decided to go back. So perhaps as of recently, you've cut that situation off. That was dead and gone, but it's actually led you back to the past. How very interesting. Now for others, this is the Empress. There are children here, so this could be that transition from a life of no kids to you're going to become a parent or something like that is coming up between you and another person. And I would say, honestly, any of these cards could be your personality. You could be taking on the energy of the Queen of Wands or the King of Cups as a water sign for sure. But as a female, I think you're most likely to fall into the energy of the Queen of Wands and the Empress, where after a situation where you let some shit go, that's just way too much to handle, you regain control, you regain your power. And again, you feel like you're back to making stuff happen in your favor. You feel in control and dominant, like you've got the world again on your side. And it may very well have to do with a relationship or a partnership that you're in, and you've returned to a time where things are easy and blissful and convenient for you. Death is the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups could represent your energy, and I don't mean that you're dying or anything like that, but it can be the death of the emotions. Queen of Cups I often see as someone who has an abundance of emotions. Sometimes she's great at hiding it, sometimes it comes out or it's just there, and then you can see it in her or his behavior. In this instance, I feel like you've let go of emotions and you're not as out of control where your emotions are concerned. That's why I feel like on some level, a lot of you are taking the role of the Empress, who has control of everything. She embodies that ideal female. And again, with the Queen of Wands, this is again a more aggressive approach, feeling like you're again in control, leadership role, all that stuff is coming up. And that could be what you transition into in order to get yourself out of all this responsibility that's gnawing at you, etc. And then small note, which I already said, there's something about child coming in here, and that is also the transition that you're experiencing this week. It could be an announcement, it could be something that you're just finding out this week. And that's the death of one life into the life of parenthood. So I would say that on some level, having found that out, it could be a positive thing. You're very happy about it, but at the same time, you're afraid of it, of the responsibility that it means, and of perhaps losing your old life is what I meant to say. Anyway, that's pretty much what's coming up for the week. Appreciate you watching as always. Until the next readings.